good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome. We are the Institute for Advanced Architecture of Catalonia, and we are broadcasting live from Barcelona to the world. Barcelona is the world capital of architecture in 2026, and we are just so happy to have you here with us in our admissions live Q&A. So if you're joining us today, you're either an applicant or a soon-to-be applicant from one of our 5 master programs. And the idea of today is precisely give you an overview about our admissions process, also tell you about our scholarship competition that's closing up very soon, and tell you more details about frequently asked questions, your move to Barcelona, and at the end, save all of those questions, drop them on the chat box, and we're gonna have a live Q&A in which you can write your questions, or if you feel like it, we can also unmute your microphone and you can formulate your question with your own voice, which is always nice to see the faces and the voices of our applicants live today. So, in this moment in time, we are at the end of our second round of applications, which is called our Scholarship Priority Round. That means if you joining us today are want or need a scholarship to fund your tuition fees, this is the moment to be here and to learn about how to compete for it. So the whole process of applying to one of our 5 master programs starts when you go into our website, get to read and get to learn and know more about our programs, and decide, take action and decide to apply. In our website, IAAC.net, you can find throughout the pages either a button that says apply or take me to the applications portal. Once you click on it, in buttons like you see in the screen right now, you are transferred to our admissions portal. And there's a big advantage or a few advantages to join us there. A few of them is that you get to ask us questions anytime by a question and answer facility that we have there, so we can be responsive with you. We can also have a repository of all the documentation you send us, so we don't have to go back and forth with emailing, here's my diploma, here's my recommendation. Everything lives up there. But also you have a personalized dashboard that allows you to know 24/7 whereabouts in the process you are. So everything starts by registering and start working on your application at our admissions portal. Once you are there, it's fairly easy. It's pretty common to have access to your checklist, which will allow you to eventually submit your application. And right now, in your screen, you are looking at the main documents or the main items in your checklist that once you go through and complete will allow you to submit your application. As you will see, they're pretty standard for a master, for a program at the postgraduate, at the master's level. We're talking about documents that tell us more about your undergraduate degrees, tell us more about your motivation to join the program, but also about your professional and academic experience. And one of those documents that is pretty important and that we will go into detail later on is your portfolio. For those of you who don't come from a design or architectural background, you might not have a portfolio. So we have a designated space in today's session to talk specifically about that. But if you put these items together, upload them to the portal, you will then be able to submit your application. Now that we've talked about how easy and straightforward it is to upload your documents and submit your application, let us share with you a few of the most frequently asked questions that we very often get from applicants. And I'll take a minute here to ask you that are joining me from home, if you have any question already, if any question have popped to your mind, perhaps you can start writing it in that chat box that you see somewhere in your screen, depending on your setup. If anything comes to mind, this is a reminder for you to put it down there, and we'll go over it at the end of the session. For now, let's go one by one through these most or frequently asked questions when applying. The first one is, I don't have a degree in architecture, can I still apply? Short answer is yes. We take applications from very diverse backgrounds. If we had to group our main applicants into the top 3 main groups, it would definitely be architects. It's in our name. We attract a lot of architects, but also engineers and also designers, people that are interested in urbanism, but also people that come from the hard sciences. We've had mathematicians, physicians in the past. We've also had people from the humanities joining us as well. So we are definitely a multidisciplinary institution that welcomes diversity in terms of cultural, academic, and professional diversity. Now, as we mentioned before, another big topic or question we often get is, what does an ideal portfolio for IAAC look like? So the best way I can put this is, the portfolio is the chance that we give you to shine with your brightest light. And what we mean by that is, this is your opportunity to show us your previous work, to show us your skill that you've done before. So if your background is not from that design or architecture and you're not familiar with this is your chance to put in just one place what you've done in the past, perhaps past projects that you feel proud about, research papers or publications or writing samples, anything that you've done in the past that can show us what you are capable of. My biggest piece of advice when it comes to portfolio is that perfection is the enemy of progress. You wouldn't believe how many applicants we have that spend so much time trying to perfect the very ideal and perfect portfolio that they never end up sending it. So don't let yourself be one of those, and just put it together and remember that perfection is the enemy of progress. Okay, next of our most frequently asked questions is, I will graduate soon and I still don't have my diploma. Can I apply? We attract various types of applicants. Some of you might have years of work experience. Some others might just be finishing university this year. The fact that you haven't graduated yet doesn't stop you from starting your application. We understand you don't currently have a diploma. So what we ask you to share with us instead is your transcripts or an official letter from your university certifying that you are in the process of finishing your studies and that you will be able to join us in October. Doing this will allow us to take you through the admissions process and get you here, under the condition that before you get here, you will share with us your final diploma. Okay? And one of our most frequently asked questions as well is, do you have available scholarships, or can I compete for a scholarship? The short answer, once again, is yes. But we like to think that we are special in the sense that we don't just give scholarships for the sake of giving them. Instead, we allocate funds based on merit and talent. Therefore, we have a scholarship competition that opened in January and it's about to close. So if you look at the date in front of you, the date in your screen, it's a date that it's only 10 days away. Our IAAC scholarship competition closes on March 21st. The link that you see in your screen, if you click it, that will take you to our scholarship page where you will see, according to the program you have chosen, you will have a specific prompt. By completing this prompt and uploading your work to our scholarship page, you will be able to participate for a partial scholarship. And we will be announcing the winners of the competition in early April. Now, a very important point here is that the very first requisite to be able to access any type of financial aid is that you have submitted your application or you're in the process of submitting your application. So don't miss out on this great opportunity to fund your studies, and don't leave money on the table when you could be using it to fund your tuition fees, thanks to our partial scholarships. All right. Now, once you've submitted your application, what happens then? Hopefully, you also compete in our scholarship competition. And once you have submitted in our admissions portal, once you've sent us your application, we have about a couple of weeks to review your application. Then we will, if you're shortlisted, we will invite you for an official interview with our academic team, after which, a couple of weeks later, hopefully you'll be able to be accepted and you will have an offer of letter or offer of place to join us in October. Once we've done all of that, then we start thinking about other things that are essential steps in getting you to Barcelona, like a visa, for example. Me and our team will provide all the documentation necessary for you to find accommodation, for you to find an insurance that could cover you during your studies, and of course, all the documentation that you will need to make your case to your nearest consulate or embassy, wherever you are in the world. We will provide that documentation. And although we have a very clear and specific checklist and guidance documents that we will share with you, we always advise you to get in contact with your local embassy or your local consulate, Spanish consulate, to find out what are the specific requirements for you. And my best piece of advice for you today regarding student visa is to do things with time. This is the kind of procedures that we don't want to stress with or want to be doing last minute at all. Instead, we invite you to have all the documentation ready and start inquiring about getting a student visa in your country of origin as early as 4 months before you start your program, which means about the end of May or the month of June. That would allow you to navigate this process, which can be a bureaucratic process of getting a student visa. But if you do things with time, everything becomes easier and less stressful. So once you have acceptance from us, once you have a student visa, then you will be able to start thinking about your starting day in Barcelona. Your beginning of your studies. I'll just take a second here to ask you not to unmute yourself so we can continue sharing this information with you. At the end, we'll have a Q&A where you can ask all your questions. If you keep unmuting yourself, unfortunately, we'll probably have to kick you out. So some of you, as you will see when you get an acceptance, will join us in October, but some others might have to join us in September, given that through the admissions process, our academic committee assesses whether you need to reinforce certain knowledge in particular topics. For example, there's a few of our master programs really deal with specific software like Grasshopper, Rhino, and so on. If you have never had any experience with this type of software, that's not necessarily a problem. We just encourage you and invite you to join a pre-course a couple of weeks before your start date or your intake in October. So if that is your case, you would be joining us in around mid-September if you've been required to do pre-courses with us. If not, then your intake will be the 1st of October, the beginning of October, where we will start officially your master's program. Throughout this process, me and my team, we will support you and provide advice, provide resources and useful information so you can make an informed decision and navigate this process all the way to Barcelona this October 2026. Now that I've talked so much, this is the moment where we could open up the mic or the chat box for any questions you may have. So let's take a second and think about a question if you haven't thought about that already, and drop it in the chat box, or if you want to say it to us, make sure you raise your hand on Zoom and we will unmute you so you can ask us any question you have. This is your moment. There's a lot of value in us connecting live today so we can share with each other. We can formulate questions and give you the answers. So let's go first and see if anyone is raising their hand to see if someone wants to formulate their question. I see Annie. I see Masen here. Okay, give me just 1 second. There is an option here. I'm just gonna, I think you're the host, Danny. If you could please unmute Annie, or I don't know, Annie, if you can unmute yourself, you can ask that question and then we'll jump to Mazen.
Okay, with my resume, it's on a link and it's a flip book because it's more than 10 MB. Can I still use that? Because I just feel it really shows my work in a very presentable way.
Great question. So you were talking about, if I understood correctly, for the requirement of the portfolio, you've already done your homework, you put it all together, and instead of a document, you want to share a link with us, correct? Yeah, that's perfectly possible. Sometimes people have it on a specific link. Sometimes people populate a website and share the link with us. That is perfectly possible, and our admissions portal allows us to, instead of a document, to upload a link. So that's not a problem at all.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for your question. I see Mazen here. Mazen, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. What is your question?
So I was wondering, in the process of applying, when I apply for the master, after that, in the same time, I'm gonna apply for a scholarship competition or waiting for acceptance from the application, then applying, how it goes, you know?
All right. So if I understood correctly, you have submitted your master's application, correct?
I'm going to.
Okay.
Today.
So you'll be doing it very soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. And you are asking me if you should wait until you do that first and then apply for the scholarship, if I understood your question correctly.
Yep.
Okay. My advice would be that you give yourself a deadline. Say, for example, the rest of the week to finish your master's application and press submit. Then going into our IAAC scholarship competition, and you'll have about another week to work on your proposal and submit it. If you are really on the deadline for the competition, which once again is the 21st of March, and you are a little bit behind in your master's application, then and only then I will tell you, only for strategic purposes, don't miss out on the scholarship competition. So hopefully you can do them either at the same time, or first the application, the master's application, and then the scholarship.
Okay. I have another question. It is possible for applicant to receive a fully scholarship for the program?
Yeah. Could you please say the question again? I didn't quite get it.
It is possible for applicant to receive a fully scholarship for the master program?
We don't currently offer full scholarships. So that's why we are very strategic when we use the word scholarship to also pair it up with partial scholarship. We would like to eventually reach out a point where we can offer full scholarships, but we currently don't offer them. We only offer partial scholarships. So there will be a percentage of your tuition. A few months back, there was an external competition, which was the Advanced Architectural Contest, which one of the top 3 prizes was a 100% scholarship. If you participated on that competition, you might have a chance to get a 100% scholarship. If not, the one you will be competing for, which is our own, will grant you a partial scholarship on your tuition fees. Hopefully that answered your question. Thank you, Mazen. I see that Antonella is here and is raising your hand. By the way, before we go with your question, Antonella, I just wanted to say it's so awesome to see so many of you that are familiar names, that we see you in the application portal, and we finally get to see your face here. It just makes me really happy. And so thank you for joining us. Go on, Antonella. What's your question?
Yes. So my question is about that I'm in between 2 master programs. And I'm wondering if when I apply, I have the options to put, I know I can only apply for one, essentially, but can I put a second option in case I don't pass, or in case that something goes wrong, or I don't know, is there any way to do it?
That's a great question. Thank you, Antonella. So as you highly pointed out, rightly pointed out, we only allowed one application at a time. So that's why we encourage you to, go over the booklets or book a session with us, and we can help you in that decision-making process. Or write us an email and we can send you more info. So hopefully by the time you submit your application, you've chosen your preferred master program, the one that you truly love. But in case you were not to be accepted, there is an option in our admissions portal that allows you to have that second choice. But only that second choice will be effective if and only if you are rejected from your first option. Okay?
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I see that Said, you have your hand up. You want to go ahead and tell us your question, Said?
Yes, good afternoon. How are you? Thank you
Good to have
for
you.
the meeting, first of all. Secondly, I have two questions. Now I'm in the process of applying, but I did find out that I need to have IELTS or TOEFL. I am in the progress of finishing up my IELTS test, like I'm preparing for it. But can I, in the meantime, I have a paper from my university in Lebanon that states that all of my courses are taken in English. Do you think that is enough? That I have an English proficiency paper. Is that enough, or should I wait till my IELTS exam are out?
Great question, Said. Thank you for formulating that question. Very common as well. The short answer is that we don't. I'm not sure where you saw that we require the IELTS. On the portal, we have it as an optional piece that works in your advantage, but we don't require any type of English proficiency test or any particular score, okay? What we do is during the admissions process, we assess your English level. Right now, formulating this question and studying in English yourself in your country shows us and displays that you are able to communicate and understand in the English language, which is the language that we use for everything we do. We have such an international community that the one language that we all have in common is English. So long answer short, you don't need to upload any type of result. Once you have your results from the IELTS, if you want to upload them, you are welcome to, but you don't have to. So because we are with the deadline coming up, my strategic advice to you would be that don't wait, focus on the master's application, focus on hitting submit, so you can then become eligible and be able to participate in our scholarship competition. So
Thank you so much for the very insightful answer. Just one other question. I am finishing up my bachelor's degree, but in the meantime, like in parallel with my bachelor's degree, I'm doing a professional diploma at another university also in Lebanon. I did not find any place in the application portal to state that or to prove that I am doing that. I have it on my CV, but I do not have any place in the portal. I did not find any place in the portal to put that other education that I am pursuing right now.
Not a problem, Said. Maybe you haven't seen the spot, a place to do that, but maybe you have seen a place where you can write us messages. So on that message, on that space, make sure to write us a little message, say, hey, Andres, here is my diploma from this extra course I'm doing. I finished it and I'm sharing it with you. And if it's not me, it's my dear colleague Danielle, who I have right next to me, and is working behind the curtains. So everything in the event works as well. So it's either me or my colleague Danielle who will answer your messages there and will also collect any type of documentation that you want to share with us. So that's not a problem. Just share it with us in the portal and we will make sure to add it to your file. Okay?
Thank you so much for your time.
Amazing. We look forward to your application. All right, we have a few more hands up. Let's go alphabetically because I don't know who raised it first. Let's go first with architect Heidi Morsi. Then we go with Eduardo, and then we go with Maya. Thank you very much for your patience while we go through all of your questions. Go ahead, architect Heidi Morsi, please.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. I have 50 questions. I was writing it on the chat box, and I want the answer because I was thinking to make master with you or with another college in Egypt. So I wanted to know first. I have learned many languages, such as Arabic and English and Japanese and Turkish. Are these language are enough for making the master or no?
Yeah, English is enough as your language. So it is amazing, and I applaud your enthusiasm and obvious talent with languages. Well done. As long as you have a communication ability, which it seems like you do with English, that will be perfectly fine with us. So don't worry too much about that. We will assess your English level throughout the application process. Okay?
Okay. Another question.
Yeah.
I have learned many programs when I was taking the bachelor's degree at architecture in my university in Egypt.
Okay.
I was learning Revit, AutoCAD, Lumion, D5 Render, Rhino, SketchUp, Photoshop, and Canva.
Yeah.
Are these programs are enough, or you working for more technology with AI using?
Yes, you mentioned a few of them. One, for example, that is common along most of our programs are Grasshopper. Any knowledge you or any of our other applicants has in Grasshopper, Rhino, Python for specific programs, and so on. You just make sure you mention them on your CV, which is one of the documents you need to upload, but also make sure you display that talent you have and that knowledge you have on the software on your portfolio so our academic team can see that you know how to use them. So well done for being knowledgeable in all those softwares. That will act to your advantage. Oh, hi. Someone is talking. So thank you very much for your question. I was told here that Maya has been raising her hand for a while. So Maya, why don't we go with you, and then we can go with Eduardo. Yeah, Maya, go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for the lecture. And thank you, Eduardo. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of sore throat today. Anyways, I wanted to ask about the scholarships in specific. I'm planning on applying an online program. Does that affect my opportunity to get the scholarship?
Yeah, so our scholarship competition includes our computational design program, which is online. So we invite you to apply for it, yes.
Okay. And I also saw in the application process itself, in the form alone, there's the merit-based scholarship and the women's scholarship. Are those different from the scholarship competition? Because I saw the deadlines were different.
Yeah, so thank you for bringing that up. So the scholarship competition that we are sharing with you and we invite you to apply for is the one vehicle that will give you the highest percentage. So that's why we are pushing it hardest, because we really want you to take advantage of those funds. Now, parallel to that, as some of you have seen, for example, in the admissions portal, we also have a Women in Tech Fund. As some of you might know, the building and construction industry has been for years, for generations, highly dominated by men. And to bring some parity into this, we have that Women in Tech Fund, for which we invite you to apply as well. That one doesn't have a particular deadline. You just make sure you do the delivery for it and you let us know you want to apply for it, and make sure you submit your application. And then that's it.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so thank you very much, Maya.
Thank you.
Hello, Andres. IAAC.
Do you have, I don't know who's talking, Maya, do you have any other questions? If not, then maybe we can move on to Eduardo, unless you have any.
I wanted to ask just one more question.
Yeah,
because you mentioned that the scholarship, it covers more, the scholarship competition.
Yeah.
The merit-based and the women funds, they cover around, can you give me like a percentage average? If it were like a maximum or something?
Oh my goodness, Maya. Okay, we don't have a particular percentage, because the percentage that is allocated in regards to the funds available, but also the amount of competitors and the quality of the deliveries. So we don't have a set percentage. What I do know, based on experience, is that the scholarship competition is the one that can give you the most or the highest percentage. So if anyone is hearing my words, I really encourage you to take part on that scholarship competition, which deadline, it's coming up on the 21st of March. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, Eduardo, you've been patiently waiting. Go on, Eduardo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. The thing is, I finished school a long time ago, but yeah. I got distracted by work, and I never finished my thesis. I am planning on finishing it this year, but the thing is, would that be a problem for me to apply? So, as long as I finish my thesis this year?
So you finished your bachelor's degree?
Yeah, it's finished. I have all the credits. I have all the I don't know how to say in English. Yes, it's finished. I have all the credits. I'm just finishing my thesis project, my document. I'm planning on getting that finished this semester. Would that be a problem for me to apply?
Nope. It's not a problem. Actually, well done for being proactive and start thinking about your master's before finishing your bachelor's. Well done. No, it's not a problem at all. Just make sure you give us, you send us your transcripts, you upload them to the platform, and you submit your application. Now, before your intake in October, we'll probably ask you for the final diploma, which you will have eventually. So, but for now, in this stage of the process, it's not a problem at all. So I encourage you to upload your transcripts, the ones you have so far, and we'll take you through the process with those documentation, under the understanding that you will eventually have to upload your diploma.
Okay. Do I have to get a translated version of the transcript? Should it be in English or should it be in Spanish?
Ooh, great question, Eduardo. Because you have a very Latin name, I would assume, are you maybe in Spain? Are you Spanish?
I'm from Mexico. I do have a Spanish nationality, but I'm from Mexico.
All right. So this is a great question. Although we are located in Barcelona, in Spain, we tend to operate in English as our main language, and because many of our academic team, some of them do, but many of them don't speak Spanish. We encourage you to upload documents. Now, here is a pro tip that I'm going to share with you and the rest of the participants, so you take advantage of this. If you don't have an official translation of a document right now, for the sake of taking you through the process, upload the official document scan with an unofficial translation for the sake of the process. And then later on, if you are required for translation or official stamps for your visa, for example, and so on, we can take care of that later on. But for the sake of taking you through the process and for you to press submit, we invite you to upload an unofficial translation, okay?
Okay.
When it's Spanish, it's not much of a problem, but we just gotta be careful there. So an unofficial version will do just fine.
Okay, the thing is also you have this thing that we have to legalize them. The thing is, I got my transcript in Spanish, and I got it officially translated by like an official translator, like a lawyer and stuff. Does that is the equivalent of legalizing, or is it just an official translation, or it should be something else, or is that enough?
Yeah, so at this early stage of the process that you're at, if you haven't submitted your application, we don't ask you to legalize or stamp anything yet. Eventually, you'll have to, for other reasons, including your visa, for example, you might be asked to do that. But for now, that shouldn't be too much of a worry, not having official stamps or official translations. For this is an internal process. We just want to take you through the process so we can assess your application. That's it. And we will take care of that later.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Eduardo. We're looking forward to reviewing your application. I see here Eunice. You have your hand raised. If you can unmute yourself, you can formulate your question if you want to. Eunice? Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. Let's see. Danny, do you think maybe we can unmute Eunice? If you can't unmute yourself, I also see, while you get to unmute yourself, I see that we have a few questions in the chat box.
Hi, sorry, I'm back now.
There you go. Awesome.
So on top of Eduardo's question, I was wondering, like, what is the process of homologating my degree, my bachelor's degree, if I'm outside Europe? Like, do I need to submit it to the Ministry of Education of Spain, or do I just need to have it legalized and translated?
No. So once again, thank you for your question. But once again, just like we said with Eduardo, at this earliest stage of the application process, no legalization or official stamp is needed yet. It's just not necessary. Eventually, when you apply for your visa and we move on into officializing your enrollment, we will guide you through where specifically you have to go, because it changes from it's not the same to do this in Mexico than it is the same to do it in Egypt, right? Just to say two countries at random. So at this early stage, Eunice, I don't want you to worry too much about this. Just get the documentation you have, upload it to the portal, make sure you submit your application, and while we assess your acceptance, later on we will guide you through what to do with those diplomas and how to get those official stamps. But at the early stage of the process, no needed. Okay?
Well, muchas gracias.
De nada. Anyone else raising their hand? Anyone else wants to take this chance to formulate a question?
Hello.
Seko, go ahead. What is your question?
Right now, I'm in Guinea, out of I think out of Europa. So I
Yeah.
don't know how to, because I just go on your official website and I try to upload my documents and business, but having no idea for the submission and all the process. So I want to know more about it because I want to know more about it.
Sorry, Seko, I didn't quite hear your question. What was it specifically you wanna what specifically you wanna know about, so we can help you with it. What is your question specifically? Could you please say it again?
My question is,
Yeah.
how do I do to submit my application? Because
Okay.
yesterday I'm trying to submit my application, but I'm not even I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we can see individual cases on the individual basis as well after the session. But the main procedure would be to go to our website. As we mentioned before, you will see a few buttons there that say apply now or apply. Once you go to the portal, the first thing you need to do there, and maybe that could be the problem, Seko, you have to choose your program first. Before you see any checklist or can upload any documents, make sure you have chosen your program first. Then it will give you your checklist for that specific problem. Maybe that's part of the reason. If not, just drop us a little message if you haven't already, and we will get back to you and we will help you navigate that. Okay. Thank you very much, and we will help you solve that as well. Desiree, I see that you are raising your hand. No worries, my pleasure, Seko. Desiree, you are raising your hand. If you can unmute your microphone. We are ready for your question.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
So my question is, when it comes to individuals who are applying from non-architectural backgrounds, is there like somewhere we can see the work that's done from students from such backgrounds, or that's specifically for your discretion? And also, like, so that we are able to know what are the things that you guys prioritize when it comes to the portfolios.
I'm not sure I understood the question properly, Desiree. So you're asking me if there's a specific requirement for architects in the admissions process. Is that your question?
No, like for students from non-architectural backgrounds. Yeah. So is there like the way you can see in various students' websites, maybe work that's done by the students themselves? So can one see work that is done by non-architectural students, or like is there somewhere? Yeah.
Okay. So earlier in the session, we were talking about how a document like the portfolio, for example, helps us see what any of our applicants has done in the past. So that's how we start assessing whether or not this or that applicant can join us. And so that is an essential part of the admissions process, the document of the portfolio, which is where we assess specifically that. Okay, whether you come from an architectural background or not, like we mentioned before, we have a lot of engineers, designers, and many other backgrounds. Through your portfolio, we get to see what you've done in the past and then assess your admissions through this process. Okay, hopefully I've answered your question. If not, let me know.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Let's go with Rima and then we go with Anna. Thank you very much for your patience and your questions. Rima, can you please unmute your microphone and we will hear your question.
Hello, can I ask you about when will the scholarship recipients be announced and what fees will it cover?
Great question. Thank you very much. So let's talk about dates and let's talk about deadlines.
Okay.
Our current IAAC scholarship competition, the main deadline is the 21st of March. So you have about 10 days to submit your application for the IAAC scholarship competition. Then we take about 10 days or so. That will take us to about the 31st of March. So we will be announcing, if you participate, we will be announcing whether you have been selected and shortlisted in the first week of April, no doubt. Yeah.
Okay. And what fees will the scholarship cover?
Good question as well. So everything that you compete for or you are awarded throughout the process, they will go towards your tuition fees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is the biggest chunk of your fees. So that's why we allocate them to your tuition fees. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. We look forward to seeing your application very soon. Rima, Anna, you've been patiently waiting. Share your question with us, please.
Hello, Andres. Thank you for a great presentation. My question is back to the portfolio section.
Okay.
I was wondering, are there any recommendations for the structure of the portfolio or how many projects should we include and in how much detail?
All right. Thank you, Anna, for your question. Here's my recommendation regarding portfolio. Some people think that the longer the document, the better. But when it comes to portfolio, that's not necessarily true. Here, it's more about quality over quantity. So with applicants that, first of all, have a portfolio, and second, are just deciding how long should this be, I always recommend that the portfolio is a curated version of your work. So top 3, top 5, top 10 max projects that you feel really proud about, that you go and see and be like, man, if someone looks at this, if an academic looks at this, they would want to accept me in their program because it's so awesome what I did. And I want you to feel very proud of your work. And that's exactly why we give you the chance through the portfolio for you to shine with your brightest light. There is no limit. There is no specific number that I can tell you. My piece of advice would be make it a curated version. The top 5, top 10 projects that you feel most proud of. Don't overthink it. Remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. Just make sure you give yourself a deadline. You put it together in one place, you upload it, and then submit your application.
Brilliant. And just a follow-up question, do you encourage us to submit any work in progress projects that have not been completed just yet?
If you think it's relevant, it plays to your advantage, my answer will be yes. Yes, absolutely. Because more than the outcome, we are interested in the process of. So yeah, if you're working on something and you feel proud of it, please add it on.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Rima, you are next. Share your question with us, please. Rima, no, you're no longer raising your hand, or are you? I don't know, I don't hear you. Okay, Rima, while you come up with your question and share with us or not, let's go with Nehat. Nehat, what is your question?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I'm studying interior architecture,
Mhm.
and I want to take AI for architecture and business innovation. My question is just like I would like to ask if this master's program is suitable for my background, and also if I submit my application, is there a high chance of rejection, or do most applications who meet the requirements get accepted?
Ooh, good question, Nehat. All right. So, being you said interior architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't disqualify you at all to apply for our master's in AI for architecture and business innovation. If anything, it aligns pretty well with the multidisciplinary body of students we have at the moment. There is alignment, and if that is a program that resonates with your motivation and your ambitions, I encourage you and invite you to apply for it as soon as possible. So you can also apply for the competition as well. So go ahead, don't think about it for too long. If that's the one you like, go ahead and submit your application. Regarding rejection ratios, we have never really calculated a specific ratio or percentage. Not necessarily that everyone that applies necessarily get in. We do have a process, and that's why we do events like these. That's why we support you and give you advice. If you have submitted your application, you'll see that we always send you my calendar link, for example, and we can have strategic sessions where I help you come up with the best strategy. So when I present your application to the academic committee, it's a strong one. And so I know I'm not giving you a specific percentage or a number of rejected application. What I want you to take from my answer is, don't worry about the rejection too much. Worry about your talent, worry about your skill, which is within your control. And if we can help you tailor a strategy particularly for you so you have a successful application, we'll be happy to do that. Neha, thank you very much for your question.
Thank you.
Cheers. Who's next? Maybe SD? SD? Let's go with SD, then Eunice, and then Eduardo. SD,
Hi.
what is your question?
Hi, Andres. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, just a quick question. So let's say hypothetically I apply at the end of this month. Do I need to wait for 2-3 months or whatever for you to get all the applications whereby you assess them? Or is it done on a rolling basis? Because I'm worried about visas, etc. Right? So that's...
Excellent question. Thank you very much. There is a reason we are, organizing all these events and supporting you and setting up these dates so you have in your head, because as SD correctly mentioned, there's a lot of moving pieces in this process, in this project of getting you to Barcelona. So we do admissions on the rolling basis. If you wanted to have a clear timeline in your head, when should I apply? As soon as possible. That's my answer. Do it today. Apply as soon as possible, because once you submit your application, we have about 2 weeks to go through your documentation, and if shortlisted, we invite you to a formal interview. Once that is done, then again, 1 or 2 weeks pass by, and you hopefully eventually get your acceptance letter. So then you can start thinking about visa, accommodation, and so on.
So we're talking about like a month after whenever you submit application for the process to play out, correct?
If I had to give you an estimated deadline, I would say, just to be conservative and so I can meet your expectations, between 4 to 5 weeks and
4 to 6 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. From the moment you submit to the moment where we can tell you if you've been accepted or not. Yes.
Okay. Just one quick follow-up. So what's the email that I should use for any interaction? I sent you an email, but I didn't get a response. So I'm just curious.
Which email did you send it to?
To Andres. What?
Yeah, I'm Andres. And sometimes, and great that you brought this up, SD. We tailor and we service hundreds of applications. So we don't have automatic responses. Hopefully, with the advancements of AI, there will come the moment where no human is needed for answering emails. But in the meantime, we thank you for your patience and your understanding. If it takes us a few days to get back to you, we always do. It sometimes takes us a little bit more time. So if you wrote an email to me, I would respond to you. If you also want to have another channel of communication, I encourage you to email applications, that is applications@iac.net. Or if you are already in the portal, you can use the messaging service there to reach out to us directly. And within a couple of days, we'll get back to you.
Cool, thanks.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, so let's go with Eunice and then Eduardo.
Hello again. I was wondering whether I should include a group project on my portfolio. I was part of Global Summer School a few years back, and I was wondering if I should include that or should I not, since it's a group project and not an individual project?
Look, if you feel proud of it, and if you think that it speaks highly of your and your colleagues' skills, I would encourage you to do it. In particular, if these involve our global summer school, which you did with us, let us know. Let us know and add it as well, because that will be something special and nice to see that someone that came to our global summer school is now applying for the master. So I would say include it.
Vale, gracias.
Un placer. Thank you very much. Okay, Eduardo and Macen, because I just want to be respectful with everyone's time. So let's go with Eduardo, then Macen, and perhaps one more question and before we wrap up our session. Eduardo, go ahead with your question.
I'll be fast. For the Master in Advanced Architecture, or maybe you can explain this in general, how many people are accepted? How big is the course?
Ooh, great question. You will usually, and this is a number that I can share with you, in one classroom, in one studio, in one lab, in one session, you're usually not with more than 25 people at a time. And I thank you for your question because this makes it very special. This is not this is not a university lecture in an auditorium of 400 students. That's not the case with us. We are hands-on experience. We are making stuff happen. We are learning by doing. So our groups won't be bigger than 25. I think the maximum we've had is 30, but that was the very crowdest of the crowdest event. So that's one number that I can share with you, Eduardo, if that helps.
Okay, thanks.
Amazing, thank you. Okay, Mazen, you had a question?
Hello again.
Hello.
So I was wondering, I'm myself, I'm a 3D artist also as an architect. So I love to do some experimental stuff with another program like Blender and Touch Design and that kind of stuff. So can I add this kind of stuff to my portfolio, showing that I have some experiment there and there, that kind of stuff? Can I help me a lot in portfolio or not? And that's it.
Yes, I would encourage you to include it. Maybe not at the top, and leave at the top the very things at the professional level that you're really proud of, but definitely include it. And here is why, Mazen. We are a community of makers. All of our students like to do their things. Many of them have their own 3D printers at home, and they're like geeky in that sense, and build and make stuff. And we feel very proud of that being in our DNA. So definitely include it. It will add to your, it will give it a different taste, a different spark. And it will also showcase your creativity and your willingness to learn, to fail, to learn from your mistakes, and to continue making. So all the power to you. Amazing. I think Eduardo and Eunice still have their hands up, but if they don't have any more questions, I think that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Now, if at some point there was something that we couldn't, a question, an answer that we couldn't get through, right now in your screen, hopefully you are seeing it. Right now on your screen, you will see a few of the communication channels you can use to reach out to us. One of them could be our email address. You can also, and you've seen these in the messages we send you, you can also book a 20-minute appointment with me and my team so we can talk about your application strategy. And you can also write to us through our admissions portal, or if you're old school and you still have a phone, house phone, give us a ring and call our offices. So there are many ways we can have to connect with one another. But for now, for today, I would like to thank you very much for joining me, for being curious, for being ready. The next step, our next step, if I want you to take something with you from the session, is don't wait for it for too long. As you can see, we have plenty, hundreds of applicants reaching out to us, submitting your application. Don't let perfection play against you, and just put together your application, press submit, and we look forward to reviewing your application. In the meantime, once again, thank you very much for joining us today. We will be in touch with all of you very soon.